Howdy, howdy, folks. Got a game in the Alaska. You can see right here. I am changing my build. I was messing around with rudder for a little while. I've, had that on some of my other ships, and it's fun sometimes, whatever. But I was definitely feeling the pinch on the concealment. I think it's 12.5 or 12.7 on the Alaska with rudder, which isn't terrible. But legendary tier can be pretty. There's a lot of damage output, and if you get spotted too early before you're in position or whatever, that can be detrimental. I actually think after this match, I went and switched. I think I had Mimbelli. I think I switched Mimbelli to Makawa to even bring it down a little bit further, partially because of what is about to happen to me. But yeah, the Alaska. I think it was my very first legendary tier ship. I think it was like Alaska and Yamato were going at the same time, and I got the Alaska just before Yamato. So I've had it for ages. I feel like it's one of my cursed ships. I am, I'm a better player than I was, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago when I got it. And my win rate is going down. Average XP and damage going up, win rate going down. So I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong. I don't really think so. I think it's just one of those things about matchmaking. Sometimes you just have ships that don't cooperate. Like, woo, Yamato. I don't know. Are you good or you play a lot of AI? It's just, you never know. But anyway, Alaska. I like Alaska. I really like it. You can see I even got legendary mod on Alaska. I've got it on a handful of my favorite ships. I like this. I like a lot about this ship, but I just like the matches are not cooperating. This and the gear, I've got the legendary mod on, and I think I might take them off. It's just they're just not cooperating recently. We start off the game, Dev Striker Red Battleship with the Vampire. Sure, I'll take it. Blue Battleship on this side is AFK. I'm kind of moving in. I believe, I can't remember if I knew at this point. Yeah, B was contested. We saw the destroyer today, so I'm like, okay, cool. There's no destroyer on this side, so I can be a little more aggressive with my positioning. But the defense outspots me, so he gets a shot off. I see I am targeted by 2, 3. Uh-oh. All right. No one else on this side is really moving up. I'm by far the first ship in, and in retrospect, that was not my best play. I was trying to get to these islands. I got some decent hits on the defense. I was trying to get to cover these islands. I should have either been further back or better positioned to angle out, but as it is, right now, I'm just stuck. And this was definitely a positioning error on my part. As I've mentioned before, look at the teams, look at the map, look at what's going on. Here's where I made a choice based on what I thought was going on in the match, and I was wrong. I was like, oh, I can probably get over to this island before I get spotted. Defense outspots me. So, man, the grouping on those HE shells hurts the nose. So I am trying to back out of contact. I'm spotted by the Vermont and the Red Alaska over there because of the fire, so I go ahead and take a shot. I kind of debated just not shooting, damage control partying the fire, but I was a little concerned that the defense would sneak another shot on me, set me right back on fire, and I'd be back in the same spot. The Vermont wasn't targeting me, and I'm hoping that the Alaska nose will bounce these, but the Alaska has that, kind of weak upper belt. I think it's 27 millimeters on the upper belt, so it gets overmatched. You saw that shot snuck right in. So actually at this point, I'm kind of in trouble. Health is super low. I'm using my second heal. This is not great from me. The red team is down, and we've got all these caps, but yeah, there goes Khabarovsk. Yeah, why was the Vermont in the cap? That's actually, this game happened before the Michelangelo match that I just put up, but that's twice that a Vermont is really gung-ho. I mean, sometimes you gotta move in, but we have all the caps. I'm just not sure that was the play right there. But I don't know, I can't see that side. I can't even see what ships are going on that side, so I don't specifically begrudge him, but that's just one of the things that went through my head is like, ugh, what was he doing? Cabba's got 6-kilometer torpedoes. Oh, one thing to point out, the Carl on our flank is here, and he's just sending it straight into the cap, but at least he's here, AFK ships are really frustrating, but he's here, so he'll at least be a distraction for a little while. I see this defense positioning kind of aggressively in this little channel on the islands that you kind of get over here. I am almost positive at this point that he is ready to charge the Yamato behind me. I don't know if he's forgotten about me or just doesn't respect what, you know. I was low health the last time he saw me, so maybe he just thinks I'll be an easy sink, but we're waiting for him. Still trying to get some damage on that Vermont, and it's time to switch to AP, because if the defense is coming, it's probably going to be soon. Oh, actually, I know. I was going to say maybe I should have used the radar here, but I think I was specifically holding it because I didn't want him to remember me. I was hoping that he would do what he's about to do. So I'm like, if I radar him, he's just going to stop, and he's going to be sitting in those islands. He's going to be really hard to dislodge because I don't overmatch him, and I'm not confident that the Yamato is going to be able to shoot him accurately through the nose. And I've still got shots on this Vermont, so maybe we'll just shoot him a lot. And then, yeah, Yamato shoots at the Vermont, and I'm like, oh no, buddy. Get back. This is what he's waiting for. The defense is right there. Oh, man. All right. Johan, yep, here comes the defense. Literally, he's waiting for the Yamato to forget. And here's my AP. Not the best grouping on that first shot. The second one was a lot better. But yeah, those shells came out wide. Okay, yep, Yamato shoots him. Oh. Defense launched all his torpedoes at the Yamato. I wonder if he had gotten some off on me, if he might have double striked us. That's what it's called. Carnage over at A. I have, you know, I can see ships going in and whatever, but I can't really tell what's going on. Hoping at this point that the Vampire comes to Cap C. He's been sitting in B for a long time. You know, he did cap it. There was some combat over there, so I didn't get to see it at close range, but he's done his job there. I'm hopeful that he'll just come Cap C, because I don't know how this fight's going to go. Looking at how this Carl is positioning, he is broadside to the Alaska, and the Alaska can definitely penetrate the Carl's armor at that range. There's only a handful of ships that the Alaska can't get through. Yamato and Montana, depending on the exact angling. You know, it's one of those where the improved pin angles give and take away. Sometimes you'll get shells that kind of pin but actually shatter because the belt armor on those more heavily armored battleships is so thick they actually end up shattering the shells. But even then, there are spots you can definitely aim that you can citadel those at closer range. Yamato in particular, that little weak cheek, or in kind of towards the latter half. But hey, Carl takes down the Alaska. He kind of got away with it there. Gets the torpedoes off. I'm assuming that's why he was just going broadside. But this is the purpose I'm making this video. This right here. We have 3 caps. One's contested, but we could reset that guy for ages. It's a Marlboro. He's relatively healthy, but he's not the scariest ship alive. But my spidey sense is tingling. I'm just thinking, I'm looking at this Vampire. I asked him to Cap C, like, hey, let's go Cap C. He didn't even move. He said yes and didn't even move. The Carl was AFK and then went full broadside right in front of Alaska. And I'm just thinking, I don't feel good about this match. What do I need to do? There's still 6.5 minutes left. We are way up on points, but if the Marlboro goes uncontested in A, he could flip A and flip B, and I can't do the math. If he sinks the Carl and the Vampire and flips 2 caps, they might win. I'm just not sure. We might be able to hold off. I think maybe it lasts long enough that if we just keep C, maybe we still win on points. But I'm not sure. You know, and maybe somebody out there can do all that math on the fly, but I certainly can't. He's taken some hits, but again, you know, the Marlboro is one of those ships. It goes down easy when you get the shots, but it's also got those British super heals, and you have to respect the guns. They're not, you know, not the most well-regarded guns. I mean, Carl goes down. Oh, and I think one of the reasons that I was a little concerned about this Marlboro is he did dev strike a cruiser on the other side, so either he got super lucky with HE, or he's smart enough to know that the Marlboro AP, you know, can't be ignored. And so I just look, I'm like, oh, Vampire, like, you're not respecting this guy. So yeah, just based on how this match has gone, I'm nervous about this. And again, I can't do the math on the fly to tell how the points are going. So I'm just like, I have to be alive. I have to be over here. I have to, feel like I need to contest, hopefully distract the Marlboro. And here we go. You see the vampire just goes down. He had his nose pointed towards the Marlboro the whole time. He was in B, like well past when he really needed to. And that's really exactly what I was worried about, is that he's just going to go down to the Marlboro. The Marlboro, AP or HE, whichever is loaded, is a insane threat to a destroyer, especially at that range, just because the volume of shells. It's got decent reload, and it's got 16 barrels, so you cannot ignore the Marlboro if you're a more lightly armored target, because it will hurt. So I correctly was worried about that. Here, we are safe. Like, at this point, we've got the points, so I'm just trying to get out of here, conserve it. He's going to have to push into me, and so, my best bet is to him make a mistake. If he shows enough side, I can easily Citadel the Marlboro. It's got, like, the biggest Citadel in the game. I don't know if it actually is, but it's huge. It sticks way up above the waterline. It's like the whole ship. Totally a weakness. So I just need to play a little safe here. I'm keeping my heal just to make sure I can get full value out of it. And here I do pop the radar just to kind of see what he's doing. How close to me is he? Am I going to be able to sneak some shells over this edge? This is pretty true of most American cruisers. They have slightly slower shell velocity, so a lot of times you can get away with some kind of lob shots that you might not on another one. And yeah, I do get the reset. So I think at this point, he was probably already done anyway, heading towards me, but now that the fact that he can't get that cap, like, he has no chance. This was already done on points before this, but that just seals the deal even more, and I'm resetting him, so he knows he's got to come fight. So I want to back up. The last thing I want to do is get rammed by a Marlboro, because, depending on exactly how the ram goes, there's always that chance that you end up where you take more damage than the other ship, because there are some relative velocity calculations that go into it. I don't know it exactly. I don't know if anybody knows it exactly, but I want to be aware of that. Yep, okay, take out the guns. That's exactly what I'm going for. Close. A little bit of dispersion could have gone on that one. I think I actually got some in the gun, but it didn't get knocked out. But he's only got one. He is shooting HE at this point. And do I knock this one? Yeah, knock that one too. Oh, I think I even get through to one of the back ones. So depending on when he damage control partied, I'm relatively safe from his guns, but I still don't want to get careless. Careless. You just can't ignore the damage output on a battleship like this. If he manages to sneak some into my side with AP, like, he can definitely hurt. So yeah, now I'm using the heal. I know this is pretty safe. I'm getting decent. Yeah, oh, and a Citadel. I think it must have bounced down. It's amazing. But yeah, you can see if I throw my ship away or don't pay attention early, like go out early in a blaze of glory on the other flank, my team would have thrown that match. So 3,100 XP, 167,000 damage, pretty good for legendary tier. But again, just proof, like, you have to stay until the end because you can't trust your team.